Welcome to our channel. Today in this video, we are going to learn how to solve a three-sum problem. But before starting with this video, I'll suggest to watch a video on two-sum if input array is sorted. The link is given in description below. Why I am telling this because it has some correlation with this sum. If you can understand that sum easily, then three-sum is not a big deal. So make sure that you watch that video first and then come to this problem. So I hope you have watched that video. Now let's start with this problem statement. What is the problem statement given to us? Given an integer array nums. So we have given an array of integers. Written all the triplets num I, j and k. We have to return the triplets. But what is the condition for returning that triplets? Let's see that. Such that I not equal to j, I not equal to k and j not equal to k. Now don't get stressed by seeing this I not equal to j, I not equals to k and all. It simply means that you should not use the same number again. Just it should not be repeated at the same number. It has to be different numbers in the array. And the addition of these triplets must be equal to 0. So we need three numbers such that their addition will be 0. Let's see the example given by them. So we have been given an array with -1, 0, 1, 2, -1, -4, and they have given us the list of array set which will, after adding those three numbers, we will get 0. So if you see -1 plus -1 will be -2, -2 plus 2 will be 0. This is the first set in that. The next set which was possible from that array was -1 plus 0 plus 1. As you can see, -1 plus 1, 0. So we are getting a sum as 0. Another example that has been given to us is 0, 1, 1. It is an empty. We don't have any negative number in that. So the triplet is not possible. Example 3, all elements are 0. Only one set is possible of triplets, that is 0, 0. So this is the example. So we have to find three numbers after adding which we will get 0. So let's see how we can approach this problem. So let's see how we can solve this problem. So the array which was given to us is -1, 0, 1, 2, -1, -4. Okay. So the thing is, directly moving into solving this three sum will not be okay. Like -1 plus 0, like one by one element, if we keep adding, it will not be a correct approach. It will take a lot of time. So let's do one thing. First, let's sort it out in the array. So let's see what we will get after sorting. So first step we are doing is sorting this array. What we will get by sorting this array? -4, -1. Sorry, there are two -1. I'll erase one second. -1, 0, 1, 2. This is how the array looks after sorting. Now, what we are gonna do is, we need to use 3 pointers. That's for sure. But the approach which we are gonna use to solve this problem is 2 pointer. Sounds interesting, right? Like we need 3 pointers. Then how we are gonna solve this question with a 2 pointer approach? Let's see. It's not that hard. The only logic which we have used in this two sum if input array is sorted, same logic we are gonna use over here, but in a different way. Let's see. That's why I told you to watch this two sum video. If you have not seen, you make sure that you watch that video. Link is given in description box. So let's see how we can do that. One thing is fixed, that we need 3 pointers. Let's say our 3 pointers are I, j and k. And what we need, their sum to be 0. What we need? Num of I plus num of j plus num of k equals 0. We need this. So how we will solve it with 2 pointer approach? Let's see. What we can do is, let's keep our first pointer I as fixed. We will not move it. It will be constant. And in this remaining array, we will use 2 pointer approach. Okay. So my j will be at this second position after I, and my k will be end of the array. This we have done after sorting the array. Remember that sorting is very important before doing this step. So after you have started, what we have done, we have kept one pointer constant and we are playing with remaining 2 pointers. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. What we have to do, add I plus j plus k. Let's do for this first. So what it is, minus 4 minus 1 plus 2. What value we will get? Minus 5 plus 2 will be minus 3. Now what we are getting? Minus 3, which is less than 0. If it is less than 0, what we will do? We will decrement the j. Say j minus minus. Increment the j. Okay, because we want to go close to 0. And that can happen only when we will increase the j. So I'll increment the j. Again, j is minus 1. So again, what they have told us in the question, let's see. In problem, if you read carefully, what they have told, the solution set must not contain duplicate triplets. It should not have any duplicates. So if you can see, j is again coming as minus 1. So let's have a check. Okay. Let's see. Minus 4 minus 1 plus 2 is equal to again minus 3. And minus 3 is less than 0. Again, we will increment the j. Say j plus plus. Now, j will be at 0. So, minus 4 plus 0 plus 2 will give me minus 2, which is less than 0. So, again, we have to increment the j. Again, I'll increment the j. Minus 4 plus 1 plus 2. How much it will be? Minus 4 plus 3 minus 1. Minus 1 less than 0. J plus plus. Now, if we do j plus plus, j and k will be the same number. And they have clearly told in the question that they should not be same. So, our loop will stop over here. After this, what we will do is, we will move our I. Now, my I will be pointing to next element. So, how it will look like? So this will be my I. 2-pointer approach will be used on this remaining array. So this is my j. This is my k. Okay, I'll erase this part as of now. Okay, so now what we will do? Let's see. Now we have got minus 1 plus 2. What will be the value? Minus 1 will be minus 2 plus 2 will be 0. We got one set. Let's write it down. Minus 1, 2. Now, do we need just one unique set? No, they have asked all the set. So, even if we get the set, we have to find another one. So, we'll do j plus plus and k minus minus because we have to decrement the k and increment the j. Now, my j will be at this position, k will be at this position. So, value will be minus 1 plus 0 plus 1. Now, minus 1 plus 0 plus 1 will again give us 0. Again, we found one set. Minus 1, 0 and 1. Okay. So, again we have to increment the j and decrement the k. Now, if we increment j and k, they will collide. Like they will come at same number. That is not, j will go ahead and k will come back. So, that this is not the right condition. So, we'll stop this loop over here. Now, we will go to next element. Minus 4, minus 1, minus 1. Now, you tell me where will be I pointing now? I will be pointing to this minus 1. Sorry, this is I. J will be pointing to next element and k will be pointing to last element. Okay. So, these are the sets we got from previous iteration. Now, let's see what we will get now. Minus 1 plus 0 plus 2. Now, minus 1 plus 0 plus 2 will give me 1, which is greater than 0. K minus minus. So my k will get decremented and it will come over here. Now minus 1 plus 0 plus 1 is equal to 0. Again minus 1 comma 0 comma 1. But we already have this set set of minus 1 0 comma 1. Then we should not add this array again, right? Because we don't need any duplicates in our array. Even if they are at different position, but the set is fully same, minus 1 0 comma 1. So we have to handle this duplicate scenario. How we will handle this duplicate scenario? Let's see. So first, for this first element, we will have a check. If my I is not equal to 0 and if the current value of I is equal to previous value of I, means we have already solved for that number, right? So what we will do, we will just continue it. Okay. And for j and k, what we will do, we will keep incrementing the j till we don't get the repeated number, and same for the k. How we will do it, I'll show you while solving the problem, like working on the code. So this is the final set which we will get after solving it fully. Now what we did, let's revise it. I'll show you properly. I'll erase this middle part, maybe this. One second. Yeah, this much space is enough. Okay. So first what we did, sorted the array, right? Then we used 3 pointers, I, j and k. And next we checked if there is sum. We found sum. How we found a sum? Num of I plus num of j plus num of k. This is how we found a sum. Before that, j will be from which position? It will be I plus 1. K will be always start from end element. So it will be num dot size minus 1. That is clear. And I will start from, we started from 0. So I will start from 0. Okay. How to use for loop, while loop, I'll tell you while doing the code. Don't worry about that. Now next what we did, we checked. What we checked, if sum equal 0, then return that, store that array. If my sum is coming less than 0, then what we did, we incremented the j. If sum is greater than 0, we decremented the k. How long we kept doing this? Till j is less than k. The moment j became greater than or equal to k, we stopped that iteration. One more thing that has to be kept in mind is duplicates. How to handle the duplicates. So how to handle the duplicates, I'll tell you while writing the code. So let's now move to write the code. So now let's write the code. So we need a vector of array. So let's create that first. That is the expected. Okay. Then this is our final result which we have to return. Now, what I said, we need 3 pointers. So first pointer we will start with for loop. For int I is equal to 0. I less than, how much less than? Nums dot. Now see what I am doing over here. Now in the for this I, we need 2 elements ahead to do addition. So I will go from 0 to how much? Till third last element. So it will be num dot size minus 2. So for example, if elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then my I should stop at this second position, because further we need more 2 elements, right? Because we need 3 sum of 3 elements. So we need 2, minus 1, minus 4. I will be at 2, then j will be at minus 4, j will be at minus 1, k will be at minus 4. So I am going till third last element, then I plus plus. So now we entered into for loop. Now we have to initialize our remaining pointers. So int j will start from immediately next element of I plus 1. Now next, int k will always start from end of the array. So num dot, it will always point the last element, minus 1. Now same logic we have to use, which we used in this 2 sum input array sorted. Okay, see, now before writing this logic, we forgot to sort the array. So make sure you sort the array first. So let's sort. There is a function in C++ inbuilt which will help you to sort the array. So we'll use that inbuilt function. We'll give the beginning position, end position, and it will sort for us. Okay. So we have used this sort function. If you don't use the sort function and directly go into this implementation, then your code is pakka gonna fail, because the array is not sorted and this 2-pointer approach will fail. Even if you remember in 2 sum, that 2-pointer approach was implemented only if the array was sorted. Otherwise, this whole scenario gets failed. So while how long we have gonna iterate this? Till j is less than k. Now what we have to do? We have to find sum. So let's find sum first. So num of I plus num of j plus nums of k. Okay, we found the sum. Now we have to check if sum is greater than 0. Then what we have to do if sum is greater than 0? Just decrement the k. If sum is less than 0, what we were doing? We were incrementing the j. Next, now last condition. What is our last condition? If sum is equal to 0, then we need to create an array of having those values. So say let's create an array with this values. So what will be the values given to it? This num of I, which gave me the value 0 of sum. I will insert that elements in this array. Okay, we inserted, then I, j, k. Yes. Now we have to push this array in our result. So result dot push back array. Okay. Now you inserted. After this, let's see. Then we have to return that array also. So outside this for loop, result, return result. Let's see if our code gets executed. So let's see if we have done all the steps. What were the steps told to us? Sort the array. Have we sorted the array? Yes, we have sorted the array. Next, we need 3 pointers I, j, k. J will be I plus 1, k will be num dot size minus 1. Have we did that? Yes. J, I plus 1, k num dot size minus 1. Next, Next, what we have to do? We have to check if sum is equal to array, store the array. If sum is less than 0, increment the j. If sum is greater than 0, decrement the k. Have we done that? Yes. How long it has to go? Till j is smaller than k. That is also done. Next, what they are telling? Duplicate. Have we handled the duplicates yet? No. Let's see if we don't handle the duplicate, will the code get fully executed or not. See, it gave me an error, memory limit exceeded. Let's see why memory limit exceeded. Okay. So if you see properly, what I told, if sum is equal to 0, we have to store that result, plus we have to increment the j as well as decrement the k. Why? Because we need to find other set of values also, right? And if we don't do that, the j and k will not move and it will continuously keep entering into this while loop. That's why it is giving us the error memory limit exceeded, because it is continuously going in that while loop. That was a mistake which I done right now. So make sure that after the array is stored, to increment and decrement j and k. So let's run the code. See, now my these two test cases got passed. They didn't have any duplicate. But the scenario where duplicate was there, you can see we got this duplicate array in the output. Now how to handle this duplicate? Let's work on that. So what we will do is, if our first element is only duplicate, so we will check if I, this should be done if I is not equal to 0, and then nums of I should not be equal to its previous element. If it is equal to previous element, then we already checked for that element with all this other element. So if it is equal, just skip that element and move further. So to skip that element, what we will use? Continue. This was for I. We took care in initial state only. I'll write it to handle duplicates. Okay. To handle duplicate. This was for I. Now what if we get duplicates in this j and k? So let's handle this. After incrementing and decrementing the values, again if we get the same number, then again we will get the sum equal to 0. So that's why I'm handling only if sum is equal to 0, because now if I get, then again I'm gonna get 0 and I'm gonna get duplicate. If they're different, then it will not give me error because it is not storing that array. So I'm gonna write duplicate scenario here only. So while, why I'm using while, I'll tell you. J less than k, and then if num of j, like the current j element, if it is equal to previous element which we already stored in array, if it is equal to that and it is less than k also, condition should get satisfied. Then we have to keep incrementing the k. How long the j should be incremented? Till it is less than k and it is not equal to its previous element. This we handled for j. Same thing we have to handle it for k. But for handling with k, be careful. J again should be less than k, or you can say k should be greater than j. And nums of k, if you remember, k is the element pointing to the last element and it keeps on decrementing. So you will not write over here previous element. K minus 1, you will write k plus 1. And if it is equal to this next element, then we will do k minus minus. This is how we will handle the duplicate scenarios. Okay. Handle duplicate scenario. Okay, this whole logic is to handle duplicate scenario. Now let's run the code. Let's see if we are still getting the duplicate. Yes, so our all test cases are accepted. Let's see if this code gets submitted or not now. So yes, our code has been submitted successfully. As you can see, it is accepted. Now everything is fine, that code has accepted and all. Now let's see what's the time complexity and space complexity of this code. starting with this vector. We have just used this to store, so it will not take any extra space. This sorting. Now what is the time complexity of sort? Can anybody tell me what is the time complexity? So the time complexity of sort is O of n log n. Okay, this is the time complexity required just for sorting. Let's move further. Now this for loop will go for size minus 2. So basically this for loop will go for O of n times, we can say O of n minus 2 is almost equal to O of n. Then inside inner loop, this while loop again will go for, let's say, O of n, since we are iterating the whole array. So it will be worst case scenario O of n. O of n. So this whole for loop and inside it while loop, the whole time complexity will be O of n square. What will be the time complexity of this for loop? O of n square. So what will be the total time complexity of the code? O of n log n plus O of n square. And after adding this, so when it is plus O of n log n, I'll write it over here. O of n log n plus O of n square. So what will be the actual total time complexity? We can roughly say the time complexity will be O of n square. So this will come to O of n square. Now what is the space complexity of this code? This is the time complexity. Time complexity of the code is O of n square. What is the space complexity of this code? Did we use any extra space? No. So the space complexity of this code is O of 1. Space complexity will be O of 1. So this is how you can approach the three-sum problem. Okay. If you have any doubts, let me know in comment section. I'll help you to solve any doubts. Thank you for watching.